Now it's time to sample Honda Canada's all-new mid-size cruiser, the VT 1300 CT Interstate. The Interstate is built on the same 1,313cc liquid-cooled V-twin platform as the Fury. Do you remember the bike we introduced you to last season? In fact, the Interstate is now part of a 4-bike Fury lineup. There's the bare-bones original Fury, the Sabre, the State Line, and the Interstate you see here. As with all VT cruisers, the fuel-injected 52-degree V-twin is mated to a 5-speed tranny and a shaft final drive, while the Interstate distinguishes itself from its siblings by adding floorboards, leather-wrapped hard saddlebags, and a custom windscreen. Helping us evaluate the VT 1300 CT for us this week is a veteran Canadian motorcycle journalist, Steve Bond. Here's what he had to say after a day of cruising the Interstate down in Georgia.
Well, Steve, it was almost precisely a year ago we were down at Daytona Beach for Bike Week, and Honda introduced us to the Fury. And here we are 1 year later, Savannah, Georgia, and they've brought out a whole bunch more bikes to join the Fury and its family. This one is known as the Interstate. I was a little concerned because I thought, okay, here they go. They're just going to take a Fury and stick a windscreen and bags on it and call it a touring bike. But it really is not the case here.
Well, that would be the easy way out, and Honda doesn't do things the easy way. If they're going to do something, they do it right, engineered from the ground up. The Fury is kind of like a custom semi-chopper with extended forks, lots of air in the steering head area, very radical riding position.
Right.
This motorcycle was designed to look like the Fury,
yeah,
but it's designed from the ground up to be a touring bike.
Right. Now, you mentioned earlier the rake and trail is different, the bar reach is different, the tank has been stretched, and then the motor. Now, what do you think of that motor?
It's very torquey. It's got bags of torque, and they're very big bags, by the way.
Yeah.
Ample horsepower. I mean, 120 kilometers an hour, which is legal in Georgia on the interstate. It just burbles along at that speed.
Yeah, so tons of torque, tons of snot, and a great sound, eh?
It's got a very good sound, yeah. They're seeming to design a few more decibels into the exhaust systems while maintaining it legal, which is very nice, because if you leave at 5 o'clock in the morning, you don't want to upset your neighbors.
Cable actuated clutch.
Yeah, very light.
Shifter. What did you think downtown?
Clutch is very light, didn't have any problem in traffic. It's very progressive and smooth. I don't use the heel part of it myself, I prefer the toe, but the gear shifts were very crisp.
Yeah.
Very positive. I didn't get the feeling I was going to only partially engage a gear at any time.
Yeah. Now, let's get into the function of the bike. We've got the windscreen. I was in a riding position, where I was sort of just looking over top of the windscreen. It was good for me. The bags, how about you?
Well, I'm good. I'm fairly tall. I'm 6'3", and I had a very nice still air pocket when I was riding the bike on the interstate.
Yeah.
It didn't seem to wiggle around very much when you get a side draft from a tractor trailer. Comfortable riding position. I'd prefer the foot pegs back a little bit myself, the floorboards, but I mean, that's the style, and I didn't find it really bad. The only downside for me is the seat kind of locked me in one position. It's very sculpted.
Yeah,
and
there's a lot of padding there. It's comfortable.
It is. It's comfortable around town and everything, but for a long trip, after an hour in the saddle, you want to kind of move around and stretch a bit just to stay comfy.
Again, you know, I think Honda has really impressed me with the clean, custom look. You know, there's a bit of a diamond angle happening throughout the entire bike.
Yeah.
If you look around, again, sort of reminds me of that late 70s diamond era that was going on with the chopper scene. You know, they've been true to that.
Well, yeah, everybody just wanted to peel the emblems off. They didn't want to be seen riding whatever manufacturer it was.
Yeah.
So they made it very generic, but like I said, there's no emblems. There's a nice little Interstate thing on the back that lets you know what it is. The chrome is first rate. Paint is flawless, typical Honda. No seams anywhere.
So who is going to buy this bike?
Oh, and anybody that's really into the cruiser style and wants to do anything from day trips, and I really think you could ride this across coast too.
Weekend getaways for sure.
Weekend getaways for sure, but if you want to take a week-long, 2-week-long trip, this motorcycle would do it.
Cruising in style.
Cruising in style.
Nice job.
Thank you, David.
Thanks, Steve.
My pleasure.